Influencers and creators, you guys come to my channel to learn all things how to work with brands and grow your businesses, right? So if you are not diving into your insights on Instagram and really understanding the terminology, what they mean, and how to sift through this information, you are missing out probably on a lot more than you recognize. For those of you new to our channel, welcome. My name is Nina Zeta. I'm the co-founder of Sidewalker Daily, and we work with brands on their influencer marketing, and we also help creators in all things on their businesses. So even if you're not a creator or an influencer and you're listening in today, you're gonna learn a lot, all things Instagram insights. The thing is, Instagram developed insights because they understand that when you start treating yourself like a business, you want to go to the data. Yes, there are creators out there who probably don't ever even look at their insights and they're just posting along, which is fine. And then there are creators out there that are like, this is a business, or I'm really trying to grow this or monetize. I need to dive into my insights to see what works, what doesn't. Who is my audience? Who are the people liking? Who are the people viewing? There's so much goodness in the insights that, especially if a creator is working with a brand and trying to pitch to a brand, that they can leverage to help them, potentially pivot from a gifted collab to a paid one, or potentially even just get paid for their content. Now, if you are a creator or influencer that wants to work with brands, definitely come to my next training on how to land paid brand deals. It's live. I teach tons of good information that can help you get your next brand partner. There's tons of results. People love this training, so you can sign up below. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into insight. Why is it so important? And again, I'm going to be sharing my screen in today's video and walking you guys through the terminology, but I need to always set the stage and explain to you the importance. First of all, from a content perspective, so many of you don't know what to post. You get confused with, is this content doing well? Is it not? What do I post in the next couple weeks? Especially when you're putting your content plan together. What better place to go to than to your insights and looking at your content from a 30-day, window, or even a 60-day or 90-day window, and say, what did the best? What is resonating well? What has high engagement? The pieces of content that have the most comments or that people really enjoy. This is valuable insights and data to help you plan out future content, right? So if I know I do a reel that is a role play between Kingsley and I, and this reel does well, and then me and Kingsley do it again and again and again, and we do a few of these on our page and they tend to do well, this can help me with my future planning of my content, right? So this is why you want to know from a content perspective to go into your insights. Secondly, from an audience perspective, when you start treating yourself like a business as an influencer, you need to know who your human is, because arguably your audience, they're also kind of like your client, right? They're the ones that are liking and sharing and commenting. So we need to know more about them. We need to really understand them, especially if you're trying to work with brands, because you need to be able to clearly articulate to a brand partner who your audience is. So the more you know about them, the more you know their interests, the more you know where they're from, how old they are, their demographics, this is important information. Now, what I just mentioned really quickly is this idea about location. Let's just say you're a local Dallas blogger and there is a tourism board that's trying to target Dallas women because there's a direct flight from Dallas to this destination. You are in a really good position to pitch and to get the job because you can demonstrate through your insights that you have a local Dallas community of women that follow you and engage with you. So this data gives you a heads up and leveraging and negotiating with potential brand partners as well. I think also from a growth perspective, when you're looking at your insights, you're able to see progress. Something I tell all the creators that come to my programs is, especially when they're in a rut and they feel stuck and they're like, I'm not making any progress. I'm like, go into your insights and look how you were doing, 6 months ago. You're gonna see you are, or even 3 months ago, or a month, you're gonna see growth. If there is growth on your account, you're walking in the right direction. Remember, growth doesn't happen overnight. So again, your insights can also help with confidence boosting. I know for us, if we're able to see, the data come in and we're able to develop not only data-driven content, but we're also able to see progress, it gives us a confidence boost. I know it feels like we're not growing or we're not making this, but when you go to the numbers and that's where you are able to take a look at and see progress, it can help you. And if you don't see see progress and you see actually things are not working, it can also help you pause, reflect, and go in and reconstruct a different strategy to try different things. I think also Instagram Insights can show you things that you may not think are important. So obviously many of you probably know what the likes are when someone likes your content or someone comments on it, right? But maybe you're not aware of the power of saves. People that are saving your content, I consider this like a super like, or a very powerful way of showing brand partners that your content lasts, and not only brand partners, yourself, that your content is valuable. So let me give you an example. If you create a post and you're like, save this for later, or save this, and someone actually does, it shows that this post is going to live longer. It's not just going to get buried at the bottom of your feed. Someone is saving it to come back to it. That's how valuable that content is. So much so that they want to save it to revisit it. Now, you hear me talking a lot about brands because, again, the creators that I work with, I teach them how to pitch and I teach them how to leverage this data to show, hey, my follower count may not be this high, or my engagement, check out my saves. My content is valuable. My audience comes to me. And again, it's thinking about yourself in this way that helps you position yourself to work with brands as a creator. Also, when it comes to terminology, when you're doing on Instagram stories, right? You're going to see things like back and, who exited, which means who left and didn't want to see, or who went back and revisited some of the stories that you're posting on your Instagram stories. But one thing that, again, like the links, if you're able to measure the number of links, clicks that your audience participates in. Now anyone can post a link on Instagram stories. And let's just say you posted the link 5 or 6 times throughout a set of stories, and each time it got 10, 15, 10, 7, 20, whatever. And you add these up, you can say to your brand partners, like, this link again has over 100 clicks. And again, maybe it's not to a brand partner, maybe it's to yourself. You can also see, oh wait, I have actual influence. I put a link button or a link sticker and people are actually clicking it. This is really exciting. It shows that people are interested in your content and that they actually click when you ask them to. I think the replies feature on Instagram Insights is also a very strong signal. When people reply to your content, this is strong on stories. People are writing back to you. Like, I have some creators that just show the amount of replies that they get to some of their brand partners to show them, hey, look at all these people. They really reply and engage, and I know my audience. I have a true connection with them. And again, if you're not pitching brands yet, it still shows that your audience is engaged with you and wants to conversate with you. They're not just scrolling mindlessly on your content. Now, some other insights that I love that are for both static posts and stories, like in-feed posts and stories, are impressions. I absolutely just love impressions. This just means the number of times your content has been seen. This includes repeat visits, but I think this is important because it's really just showing eyeballs, like how many impressions does my post get? It's a valuable metric. Also, we talked about saves, but there's shares. I want to know how often is my content shared with others. That also is like a super like. It also shows that your content is shareable. This is a very big indicator that your content is performing well. Forget the likes and comments. Look at things like shares and saves also. I love the website click metric inside of Instagram Insights. I like to see how many people click the website. This is your link in bio. This helps me understand also the number of people that are clicking. When you think about things like profile visits, this is also important. How many people visit your profile in total, right? Maybe they saw you on a reel and then they're heading over to your profile. Again, all this information is very helpful to kind of understand how your content is performing. Now, you can access your insight from the app directly, or you can also do it from desktop. It depends on the user experience that you're looking for. If you go on desktop, you're also able to see everything kind of laid out for you, and it's really simple and easy to understand. Now, what's cool is whether you're on desktop or on your app, you're going to be able to see posts, you're going to be able to see stories, your reels. You're going to now really be able to take a look at each one individually, depending on what it is that you are researching or what information you want. There's also the overview tab that's going to give you a big picture overview of the content and how it's doing, so that, again, if you don't want to drill in, but you can drill in if you want to. Again, it depends how in depth you're looking to get with your content. But I strongly suggest, if you are producing reels, if you are posting stories, if you are constantly trying to grow, just to go in and take a look at the information that Instagram is making available. I know on Reels, you're able to see tons of great insights. For example, here on Reels, I'm just gonna choose one of our Reels. If you click these little 3 dots, you can click View Insights, and you can see the number of plays, comments, likes, shares, saves, right? So this is being shared over 100 times. It got over 80 saves. And it's showing you also your Instagram and Facebook plays. It's able to, obviously, it breaks it down between Instagram and Facebook. But again, you're gonna be able to get all this information for every single piece of content that you post on Instagram. So the question is, are you gonna dive into your insights now? Are you gonna go in, take a look, try to understand a little bit better of what you're doing? Let me know if you do this regularly in the comments. I'm super curious if you guys are like on your insights, or is this something that you do monthly or weekly or a couple times a year? How often do you go into your insights? One piece of advice I do wanna say for your own mental health is to not go in daily. We at Sidewalker, we look at our content weekly, and the reason I say daily is because then it can become a little bit obsessive. You know, you also have to wait for sometimes the content to do well. We try to do a report for our channel per month. Like, we like to see how things are doing in a month, you know, overview. But that's just us, but we definitely don't recommend like a daily, you know, every single day inside your insights, only because it could add stress, it could add overwhelm. And it's kind of like looking at the stock market every single minute, right? Like, how did this do? And then it can kind of create maybe an unhealthy relationship with your content, versus just kind of like looking at it from not taking it personally, not taking this data as like a reflection of you, but just as it is, data and numbers. But let me know in the comments below. Super excited to hear from you guys, and I will see you in the next video.